Now, a lot of Cowboys fans are curious about will Dak Prescott play in this upcoming preseason, with 2 games to go. More specifically, with a dress rehearsal game coming up, is he going to play? Now, according to head coach Mike McCarthy, it is highly unlikely that we see Dak Prescott in the preseason if, in fact, he does not play in the Texans game. So, with that being said, I want to go over a couple reports that we're hearing, along with just my overall thoughts on if Dak plays or doesn't play. Does it, do I feel a certain way about it, and stuff like that. Now, before we can do that, if you guys can do me a solid favor and hit the like button, it helps this video out in YouTube's algorithm, and it's much appreciated. On top of that, subscribe if you haven't done so. My goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel, so by doing that, it helps us get to that goal. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more content when it comes out. So as mentioned previously, Dak Prescott has been on the eyes of the entirety of the Cowboys fan base because we need to figure out, is he going to play, is he not, and what do those repercussions mean? So, what did Mike McCarthy have to say? Now, according to this article, in terms of him being in an interview, being, questioned about, is Dak Prescott going to play? And he said the following here. He said, hey, if he doesn't play this week, I won't play him in the 4th preseason game. To me, the 4th preseason game is for the players who are competing for the final roster spots. And the main thing is that, hey, if Dak does well enough in practice to where he feels comfortable enough and the medical staff and coaching staff feel comfortable enough, they'll play him in a series, maybe 2, in that Texans game. If not, he's not going to play at all. Also, Mike McCarthy did in fact reiterate this point further by saying you have to build up his volume of throws again. We really don't want to put him in a position where he can re-injure it. He goes on to say, we'll see how the week goes, but there's no urgency from my perspective to see Dak play against Houston. This is more about we just don't want to create a setback possibility. And that is a huge focal point of this, is that if the doctors, and if you look up what a latimus strain grade 1 is, you would know you need to rest it over a period of 2 to 3 weeks to ensure it doesn't get worse. And listen, Dak has been throwing all offseason, even before training camp started. So this isn't something that's super serious unless he keeps pushing it. And am I super stressed out that Dak might not play in the preseason? Not really. I understand that the regular season is where, hey, you need to be ready to go. But here's my thing. Dak Prescott has gotten so many reps in. And the fact is that you're paying this guy a lot of money. So God forbid something happens in a preseason game. Remember what happened with Tony Romo in that 3rd preseason game in Seattle? I'm not trying to use that specific, like, once in a moment situation in a preseason where your starting quarterback goes down. But think about it. What if a situation like that happened with Dak, and then we'd be like, oh, why did we play him in the preseason? Now, me personally, I feel like preseason has been more geared, is more geared for backups and rookies. If you already have established guys on your roster and you want to play like some of your guys, sure. But I'm not upset if Zeke doesn't play. I'm not upset if Dak doesn't play. I'm not upset if Cooper doesn't play, or Gallup, or hell, even CeeDee Lamb. If any of the starting lineup, hey, Zach Martin hasn't been playing in the preseason. Tyron Smith hasn't been playing in the preseason. Am I worried about that? No, because, it hasn't really happened in a while since they've played in the preseason. More specifically, Tyron than Zach. But, I mean, I don't believe in the whole you play the preseason to get reps, because honestly, there have been quarterbacks that don't play preseason at all, and they do just fine. I mean, just last year was a prime example of it. You had plenty, specifically Justin Herbert, when he finally started getting going, he didn't have to worry about that. There were some quarterbacks that hit the ground running. I mean, if you really think about it, Dak Prescott looked fine in that first game, and he got no reps in the preseason because there was no preseason due to the pandemic. So I don't want us to sit here and think like, oh no, we're screwed. Now, I mean, if there's a rust factor into it, he'll get that done, outside of the first half of the Buccaneers game. So I don't want us to panic about that. But more importantly, I just kind of really changed my perspective on the preseason. You know, before I was like, you know what, maybe you should play guys. At this point, and I'm not saying this because of Dak Prescott, I've kind of changed my opinion ever since the Romo injury in the preseason. Because, listen, the last thing you want to do is have one of your key guys get hurt in a preseason game. And, you know, and especially, not like a young guy that needs those reps. We're talking about someone who's going 6 years into the league, or, hell, you can look at some of these other guys like 10 plus, and they don't really need reps. They've hit their ceiling. So they'll be fine. I need them healthy for week 1. But other than that, I think we're fine. I'm not saying that we shouldn't worry. I mean, hey, you know, for God's sake, Greg Zuerlein, we just signed another kicker, and Greg Zuerlein has yet to participate yet. He's still on the PUP list. So I'm just hoping to God he's okay. You know, and I don't know, maybe he is, but I haven't heard a whole lot from Greg Zuerlein, specifically with the media and, you know, those sources. But other than that, I think we'll be fine. So by all means, down below, make sure to leave your likes, subscribe if you haven't done so, and hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys? Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.